Y'all, the indoor garden is doing amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me show you everything that's going on here. Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. It is time for an indoor garden update as well as a seedling update, and that's what we're getting into right now. Hi everybody, welcome back to Kim's Cozy Corner. I live in Southwest Ohio. Y'all, it's cold outside. It is very cold. We're in extreme temperature drops. This is what's going on outside right now. Let me give you another angle. Here's another angle of what's going on outside right now, y'all. And with the weather being like that outside, y'all, we're not going out there, not with those subpar temperatures, but we're having an amazing time indoors. You know, we're blessed. We have our electricity, we have our heat, we have our water. So we're going to count our blessings, and we're going to share all of the great things that we've gotten into over the last week since we've been kind of snowed in. So we're going to start up here in my dining room at my hydroponic systems and my GreenStalk that I now have in the dining room. So we'll start with hydroponic systems, and then we'll swing over and we'll talk about that unit right there. For the hydroponic system, this is my lettuce system. I have one plant that I still haven't harvested back there. That is a ruby red lettuce plant back there. It's just one plant, and it is massive, y'all. It's massive, and it's a cut and come again. And this is the second time we're eating off of that one little spot. Now, in addition to that spot, I did reseed a lot of these. So there's one right there coming in. There's another one back here that's come in. There's one over here that's coming in. But y'all, I got to get this big one cut out so it can make room and let the light get to these little babies right here. So let me pull this back down and keep it nice and close. And there's Buttons begging for some lettuce. This unit right here, y'all, I got cucumbers everywhere. I am really enjoying the cucumbers in this unit. Now, they're mostly up here now. There's a few inside the unit. I'm going to have to turn the light off. By turning the light off, it gives you the ability to see all the blooms, to all of the tomatoes that are in here. You can see the plants or the little tomatoes a little better. I have not harvested any of these tomatoes yet. Not yet. Cucumbers, we've harvested twice now. We've gotten about a dozen cucumbers off of here that we've gotten to enjoy. We, meaning the humans. Buttons has probably had a half dozen herself of some of the little baby ones like this right here. But just to be perfectly honest, y'all, I am behind. Look, it's giving me a warning. I am completely out of water. Now that just started alarming today. I'm going to get my A and B solution together. We will get it filled up and it'll be happy again. You need to make sure you keep these units running with water. You need to make sure they never run out. And I just ran out just like an hour ago. That's when it started beeping at me. But we're going to get it filled up. It's going to stay happy, and we are not going to lose anything in here, hopefully. Moving over here to my indoor GreenStalk with my ultimate mover. We put this together about a week ago, I believe it is. It's about a week ago. I have vegetables in here for now, y'all. Vegetables and herbs. I have more cucumbers in here. I have lettuce in here. I have tomatoes. That's what I have in the top tier. I'm only needing to water this about once a week. Once I got it all watered in, I'm putting in about a gallon a week, and that's it. At least I believe so. In this next tier, I have collard greens and Italian Genovese basil. They've kind of gotten through that stressful period. Y'all see how easy I'm moving this thing around with one hand? I'm loving it. And yes, I am in my dining room and we've had no accidents except for the little minor spillage of soil when I was setting it up. Other than that, no water on the floor or anything. And this bottom tier down here, that's all collard greens on the bottom tier. Now, one of the things that we're going to have to be careful for and see if this is going to work or not is whether or not we have enough light in this space. So during the night when these lights are on over here, I'll kind of push it over this way and let it enjoy some of the lights right there. When we have a good day where we have some sun, which is not today or yesterday or the day before that or the day before that, I will move it over here in front of the window and let it enjoy that sunlight as well. But if we get to a point where I'm realizing things are getting long and lanky, it's not growing well, I do have a grow light that I can bring up here and put it directly on this unit to help give it more sunlight. If you're interested in growing flowers, especially like green plants indoors that don't need a lot of sunlight, this would be a perfect place to put them. There are videos on the GreenStalk website to show you how to do that as well. But y'all, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Very, very happy. And I do have a gate to go around it. But so far, Buttons has been pretty good. She hasn't messed with it too much. But I have a gate ready to go if she ever decides to get a taste for collard greens again. So now we're going to get ready and move downstairs to the indoor grow space downstairs. And I'm going to show you everything going on down there. One of the things that I don't normally talk about is this blueberry bush right here. That's my lemonade blueberry bush. I had it in my indoor grow tent, y'all. I had to move it out. So it's sitting right here in my family room, really close to the door there. So it gets sun and I don't have to worry about it being in the way in the grow room. And this is where it's going to sit until we can get it outside after we dig out from the snow and spring decides to arrive. Y'all, I'm so proud of this space down here. I don't even have lights on yet. But y'all look, the table's clean. There's nothing on the table. We're getting organized, y'all. We're getting organized. I got fans on over here to kind of help with air circulation. I've moved a couple lights out into this space here because I moved this storage shelf out here. I have little seedlings that I've up potted to give them a little more room. This one right here, y'all, they were sad. They were pitiful. They wouldn't even stand up. Or is that the right one? No, that's not the right one. It was this one right here. They wouldn't even stand up. They were so dry. They needed water so bad, but they're happy now. They're standing up and I think they will bounce back. So these are my brassicas. We have cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower growing in these where we've already up potted them. In my last video, I shared like how you go about caring for your seedlings and your plants, from fertilizing to watering them, the light that they need, how to up pot. I did all of that in my last video if that's something you're interested in. We will be keeping the light very close to these plants here to give them all of the light that they need. Moving up here, I have my GreenStalk seed starting station up here. I had one too many that needed a place to go, so it came up here. I have thyme that's taking its time to germinate. Sage, I got nothing, y'all. I got nothing. And I've replanted sage twice now, and I got nothing. In this one, this is parsley. I only got parsley coming up in one cell and a little bit in this one here. I replanted it, but it hasn't germinated yet. And then over here in this one, this is all lavender. And y'all, I thought that it wasn't going to make it. But y'all, there's a lot of lavender coming up. Now, I don't know if I was really prepared to take care of about 50 lavender plants because that's what it looks like. Both varieties are going crazy over here, but I'm not mad. We're going to let them get big and happy, and then we will up pot them as well. Now, as far as the parsley could take up to 21 days to germinate, and it hasn't been 21 days since I reseeded the parsley, so I'm not too concerned about the parsley. Now let's look at the rest of the seedlings. So you can see here that I got both black and blueberry in this tray here. So I'm kind of mixing and matching. The ones that are done, I'm pulling out, and the ones that are still going, they're going. In the very, very back, all the way back in that corner back there, y'all, marjoram, I got nothing. It didn't come up. I've replanted it twice. I got nothing. Oregano's great. This is cilantro right there. It's doing well. And right next to the cilantro is, what is it? Is holy basil. And I just planted that about a week ago. I see one little place, you can't even see it, but there's one little place in there where it's trying to break ground. And this first one here, this is right here. That is my celery. My oldest seeds, I think I got like 2 plants, and then I'm probably looking at 20 plants of the Utah celery there. These are some of the red cells lettuce from my GreenStalk seed bundle, which we will be putting in here in the next day or so. Here are the peppers that we started. And all the way in the back there, y'all, back there, I need to get that out, but that is squash. And I'm sure you've realized by now that I can't put squash outside when it's 9 degrees in the shade. It's not even 9, y'all. It didn't even get up to 9 today. I don't remember what the temperature is, but I cannot put that outside. It needs a pollinator, so it's going to do nothing in here. I just wanted to show everybody how it grows, and then we will plant more and get it out in the garden when the time comes. It is a warm season crop, and now is not the time for it. Same thing with the peppers, but the peppers, I can transplant them into my pepper GreenStalk, so there's no loss for the peppers. Now, let's move to the rest. Well, let me keep going up. So in here, y'all, I have the onions. Y'all remember the onion issues we were having? So let's look at this one. Elsa Craig, the seeds from 2024, I've planted them twice now. I still have nothing. 2025 is growing like crazy, and I put too many in that one. This one's coming up as well. White grano, basically all the seeds from 2026 and 2025 are doing halfway decent. Now I replanted some seeds in here. Moving on up to the next one, same thing with this one here. Anything that said 2026 is doing amazing. Anything prior to 2026, it was hit or miss. Let me pull this one down so you can see all of it at once, since we're talking about onion. So if I look at the yellow Spanish, it's starting to break ground, and all of those, y'all look at that blush. That's blush right there. Y'all look at that. That's looking good. The red burgundy's looking good, but that's a short date onion. So wish me luck on that. And the older seeds right here, the Utah yellow sweet onion, I don't have much of germination there. But just in general, you can look at the 2024 Utah yellow, not much germination on those either. So as I've heard many times before, and now we've seen from our experiment here, that onion seeds lose their ability to germinate very quickly, very quickly. So from now on, I'm buying brand new onion seeds every year versus trying to use seeds that are too old. The seeds I bought for 2025, some of them are coming up, but not all. So it's still hit or miss. So I'm going to get new seeds every year when it comes to onion. So all that means I got to go to the seeds, to the seed websites. And y'all, I got to try to walk away with just onion seeds. That's going to be hard to do. Anyway, y'all, let me show you the rest of my young seedlings here. Back here is mostly cabbage. This tray is about 3 days ahead of this tray here, but it's still from that same brassica seed starting that we did several weeks ago. They're looking good. They're healthy. And then this last tray right here is all of the flowers that we started, and I don't see germination yet. It hasn't even been a week, y'all, and it could take up to 21 days on some of these, so I'm not concerned. But one of the things that I do want to call out is that my seed starting mix is doing a better job with my seed starting versus the Happy Frog. I have no algae growth whatsoever on any of my seed starting mix. It's holding water the way I'm used to, and just maybe I'm just not used to growing seedlings with Happy Frog. I will continue to use Happy Frog out in my main garden area, in my main plantings, in my containers, in my raised beds, that kind of stuff. But I'm going to stick to seed starting mix for all of my seed starting. That's just me. I mean, look at the soil. It's thicker than this one right here. So it's a big difference. It's a very, very big difference. And all of this algae growth, these are all the Happy Frog. Now this one's, don't get me wrong, that's happy now. Don't get me wrong. All right, moving over all the way in the back there, y'all. That is that last 2-gallon pot that I put together of some potatoes that we're starting. I'm not expecting potatoes indoors. We will have to take that outdoors when the weather warms up. Here's another pot of potatoes that's been going for a while. Y'all, I thought I had some humps and bumps, but I don't. It's just doing okay. You know, maybe we'll get something and maybe won't. We'll just have to see. And then right next to it, let's start right here at the top. We have all of our orange hat tomatoes. We harvested off of here just a few days ago. And there's a few more tomatoes on there that need to be harvested. But y'all, there's plenty more on here that are growing and doing amazing. Now this Tiny Tim is what I think it is. It wasn't looking too good. It seems like it's trying to come back, but we'll just have to see. Now for all of the peppers, we harvested off the peppers, and then y'all, I cut them back. I cut them way back. I cut them back because those leaves had like dead aphids on it. And I couldn't tell the dead ones from live ones. So I got rid of all of the leaves, cut it back, and we are going to see how it takes off. And if you look down at this one right here, you can see it's happy. It's very happy. All of the new leaves coming in, but I couldn't tell the new leaves from a leaf that had been eaten up with the aphids. So that's why we said, hey, we'll just start over. Here's a perfect example. These are old leaves that had aphid damage, but then there's new leaves right here that's looking much better. So now we're moving over to our last area. We're going to start at the bottom. Down here are all the old lettuce that we're going to be pulling out in the next day and replacing with that lettuce that you see over there. And we're going to seed a couple pockets with some bok choy. I got some baby bok choy that I'm going to put in there from seed. It has a pretty quick harvest date on it, so we're going to use those. But all of this is going to come out, and we're going to replant all of those. Moving up, y'all, we got cucumbers. This is really in the top tier, but it's being supported by the middle tier because that's where my little trellises are. In the middle tier, y'all, we got beans. There's some beans right there. These are strike beans here. They're farther behind than the yellow wax beans. We harvested yellow wax beans a few days ago. We'll be harvesting them again by the end of this week. But there are a ton of beans in there, y'all. A ton of beans. Now, y'all, I'm saying a ton of beans, but y'all, I only got 6 pockets. I only have 6 pockets, 3 pockets of strike beans and 3 pockets of yellow wax beans. So that's a lot of beans for 6 pockets. That's what I mean when I say a lot of beans. So let me be clear. Now, I typically grow a whole GreenStalk with nothing but beans in it. I will do 4 tiers, and it will give me enough beans to actually enjoy for the season and to can to get me through the winter months. So this was more of an experiment to kind of show people that you can grow beans in a GreenStalk and you can do it indoors. Y'all look at that. What have I done this whole thing in beans? Not that I need any more beans. I got 5-year supply already on my shelf. I'm coming all the way up to the top here. I got some bunching onion that are doing well. I have some carrots that I don't think are doing well, but they're there. We'll see what happens. So there are 2 pockets of cucumbers. And the second pocket is just getting started, but there are cucumbers on here, y'all. In order to grow cucumbers indoors, they have to be self-pollinating cucumbers. If they need a pollinator, you're going to have to do it by hand, and we're not doing that. And then there's some more carrots here and carrots right there. And I think that's everything growing in that yellow green stalk, y'all. So y'all, that's what's going on in the indoor grow spaces. So you can see we're doing pretty good. I got some seedlings that haven't even germinated yet. I got seedlings that we've already up potted. We got some things that we're harvesting in the garden. So we are fertilizing, we are watering, we are monitoring for pests. We're monitoring for pests to make sure that we don't have pests in our garden. And first and foremost, y'all, we're having fun. We're having fun. We're growing food. We're eating healthy. And we're staying warm, and we're staying from outside since I can't really do anything out there right now. But y'all, that's the end of January indoor garden tour. There'll be more tours. There will be more videos as we continue to plant more things. So we'll be starting our second round of brassicas here in the next few videos. I'm trying to think what else we're going to start. Brassicas and I believe a few more herbs and lettuce. We got to start more lettuce so we have transplants to replace as we start pulling more things out. Y'all, I think that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the update, and I hope to see you back at Kim's Cozy Corner really soon. Talk to you later. Bye.